The vehicle is in rest. You are the passenger. You are sitting in the vehicle. Then with respect to your immediate surrounding at the point of seat where you are sitting, you are in rest. The vehicle itself, with respect to the surrounding, that is road, that is roadside objects, the buildings, the trees, with respect to all these points, all these objects around the vehicle itself is also in the state of rest. So both of you are in rest with respect to each other. Then you say both in rest with respect to the immediate surroundings. Now imagine the vehicle takes a move. Vehicle starts, it comes to motion. When it comes to motion, we are very much sitting in our seat. That means we are very much in the state of rest with respect to the vehicle itself. We are very much in the state of rest with respect to the vehicle itself. But with respect to the roadside objects and roads and other things, vehicle is in motion, so we are also in motion with respect to outside surroundings of the vehicle. So at the same time, the passenger is said to be in rest in one condition, that is the vehicle itself. To the other condition, the person is said to be in motion at the same point of time with respect to the outer surroundings of the vehicle. That way you say a person, an object can be in the state of rest and motion at the same time, but at different situations. So rest and motion are there. This rest and motion, everything is in the state of motion. Either it is microscopic or it is macroscopic. If it is electrons, protons and subatomic particles as small as, or if they are the planets, satellites, the galaxies, the comet, whatsoever big objects as such in the space, all are in the state of motion with respect to some surrounding somewhere. With respect to some surrounding somewhere, everything happens to be in the state of motion. So the rest is a term only to understand for a limited idea of the happenings, but a wide thought of knowledge we say nothing is in the state of rest. Everything is in the state of motion, whether it is microscopic or it is macroscopic. Any kind of object is in motion. For motion, we come across a term, very important term called distance. A term called distance. Distance means in course of motion, a body has to travel. The length a body travels is called a distance. Then distance is a scalar quantity, because this distance has got only one parameter, that is the magnitude. It doesn't show any direction. So the length of the object it is moving at times is called a distance, which is denoted by a small letter s. So distance is a scalar quantity. Its units are centimeter in CGS. Its units are meter in SI system. So is the distance. So distance of a body. So a distance when it moves a distance, say a distance between 2 points A and B. Now this distance can be direction free, that's why we can measure a distance from A to B in a circular manner, in a curved line. Distance can be measured in a straight line form. Both the ways the distance can be taken, but the lengths will be different because of its shape. It is taking the shape of. So it is immaterial that what distance we refer to, we refer a distance between A to B. It can be a curved line, curvilinear. It can be a straight line, rectilinear. A rectilinear distance, a curvilinear distance, both can be taken at different times because their dimensions, lengths will differ, but their technicalities will not differ. They will move from A to B or B to A, whatsoever, the distance remains same. So a body moves from A to B in either of the way, the distance is to be taken from A to B. It is called distance AB. Like that, a distance can be a scalar quantity because of this fact. Side by side, if we say displacement, now displacement is different. Say if it is displacement, there may be two terms coming. One is, what is its value? What is its magnitude? What is its numeric importance? And the second is which direction. So displacement is direction bound, so it is a vector quantity. Say a body moves from A to B. A body moves from A to B. After that, the body moves rightward turn, it takes B to C. A to B, one direction moving, it changes the direction. If we say this is north and this is east, body was moving eastward, say it was moving 5 meters. The body is moving northward, means upward, say it is 12 meters. So the distance moved will be AB plus BC as the direct arithmetical method, that is 5 meters plus 12 meters, it is giving 17 meters. So distance, total distance moved is 17 meters. This is the starting point. Body moves from A. It reaches to B. So here it stops. Here it stops, the end point. So starting point to end point, it moves through A to B and B to C. The total distance traveled is 17 meters. But what is the displacement? Displacement value is directly from A to C because displacement doesn't have any length of the path it is traveling. Distance is what? That is the difference between the end point, distance of the end point from the distance of the starting point. That means the difference of these 2 points, the length of difference between these 2 points is the displacement. So this displacement is depending on the factors on which it is standing. Since this angle is 90 degrees, we said, so obviously displacement will close to a vector, so it will be AC will be called the square root of AB square plus square root of BC square. So this will be 5 meter square whole square plus 12 meter whole square will be getting you 25 plus 144 meter square under square root will get you square root of 169 meter square. So ultimately the value of AC, this will be standing as 13 meter. It is AC is giving you 13 meter, square root of 169. A simple arithmetic that it is the right angle triangle forming. So by Pythagorean triplet, by the Pythagoras theorem, you came to know that the shortest distance between A to C is called 13 meter. So displacement can be defined as the shortest distance between a starting point and the end point. That is the meaning of the displacement. It is a vector quantity, because if you say CA, definitely it will be minus 13. It will not be 13 meter, it will be minus 13 meter. So total distance traveled was 17 meter and the displacement made is 13 meter. Total displacement made is 17 meter and total distance made is 17 meter. Total displacement what it is 13 meter. That means you can say that displacement and distance may differ. They may not differ also. If the same direction the body moves, the distance and displacement will be same. When the direction changes there, the displacement factor will differ. As a result, the distance can be equal to a displacement value. Distance is always greater than a displacement value, but displacement will never be greater than a distance value. So a distance can be always positive. Distance moved cannot be zero. If the body has no distance movement, that means body is said to be in the rest condition. In motion, the body makes a distance, it's a positive quantity. Body cannot make a distance moved in negative term because direction doesn't concern there, and the displacement is just opposite. It can be positive, it can be zero, it can be negative. Why it can be zero? If it returns to the same starting point in the opposite direction, obviously 5 meter moving in one side, opposite side moving 5 meter. So total distance is 10 meter, but total distance is 10 meter, but displacement is 0 meter. And if it moves in the opposite direction, crossing the previous limit, it will be